Welcome to a video of my shoes. We're gonna go through my shoe rotation. So my training weekly is very similar week after week. So I have 14 sessions, double threshold Tuesday, double threshold Thursday, hard session on Saturday with deliberate threshold, long run Sunday, and the rest easy. And I have spikes that I do strides Monday, Wednesday. I have a shoe that I do strength and lifting on Friday, Sunday. We have easy run shoes, we have long run shoes, tempo shoes, and interval shoes. So now we're gonna go through some of them and see why I like them and why I use them. A small disclaimer. I have specialized or special made insoles that I use for most of my shoes, not shoes that spikes on the faster interval shoes, but for easy shoes, easy runs, I have these and everything, so that affects the feel of the shoe and of course my thought of the different shoes, but this works for me. Let's start with shoes that I use for easy training and easy runs and jogging. Invincible Run 3. This is a shoe that I use for easy runs and I rotate. I'm very diverse with my running shoes, so I try to use all different types just for the fun of it and to change it up a little bit because everything has a different feel. This is a nice overall shoe that you feel responsive, it's supportive, and it's a lot of cushioning. Very nice for an easy run. But I never use the same shoe twice in a row. That I'm not using one shoe twice in a row is just a thing that I've always done. It's been my approach because I've had the opportunity to have a lot of different shoes my whole life, and I think it's nice to change it up and not get too hung up on one different pair. I think changing it up is nice for just my legs recovering, changing up a different feel. I don't want to be that connected to one pair. Second pair, and a very new shoe, is the Pegasus Premium. This is a great shoe and a shoe that I've seemed to love quite a lot because it's extremely soft because of the large pillow. It's very stable and it's just very nice on the feet. So if I'm in a period where I do a lot of hard sessions and a lot of miles, it's a very nice shoe to feel a little bit smoother, maybe not feel that sore, which is great for a runner like myself that do a lot of mileage and sometimes very hard. I really like to try different shoes and I love different feels. With that being said, I tend to go more often back to a shoe that I enjoy in my rotation. So this one, obviously, I really like it. I think it's exciting because it's something new and it's a little bit different. So I tend to go a little bit more back to this compared to some of the other shoes. Next up, absolute classic, Nike Structure 25. It's a very high number and production for this shoe because it's been out for very long and it's been obviously improved over quite a lot of different stages, which I think it's great. People love it, I love it. It's a very supportive shoe. It's relatively hard in the cushioning, but that makes it for a great, stable and supportive shoe that does serve a purpose, good for easy runs, warm up, cool down. It's a nice shoe to have if you're gonna change to spikes and change to faster shoes, but then have to change back for a cool down. I think when I approach a session where I do a warm up in a different shoe, I tend to kind of scan my body a little bit because obviously I train relatively hard, and of course there's going to be some soreness and a little bit of stiffness maybe on the calves or on the inside. That helps me approach that training to have a little bit extra support going out of spikes, because then it can be tough for the legs in the spikes, but then when you cool down in these, just feel a little bit easy. Next jogging shoe, Nike Vomero 17. Also relative high production number. This version of the Romero, I'm a big fan. It's very nice, also a pretty cool color. But this is just a regular shoe. It's nothing fancy. It's good, it's supportive, relatively stable. It's a good all-around shoe that you can do long runs, easy runs. You can also do some strides. Last year I've used this quite a lot for warm-up to my competitions, because then you don't want to feel too heavy on the legs. You don't want to have too fast of a shoe. This is in between. It's responsive enough, fast enough, light enough, but still relatively normal for a running shoe. And, if you're traveling light, which I often do for my competitions, I bring one pair of running shoes. This is a very nice pair, and with the updated version, that's the one that I brought for European indoors as a warm-up. Next up, OG Zoom Fly 4. This is a shoe that I've worn for many years, and right now it serves as a backup shoe if I don't have the updated version, which is what I currently use. For me, it's all about saving energy. So let's say I forget my shoes indoor when I go out to do my workout, and these ones are in my training room. I use this. I think it's extremely good shoe, good plate, very responsive, extremely good cushioning. You can do interval sessions extremely hard in this, and also go for a long run, tempo run. Just shoot very fast. On that note, we have the new one, Zoom Fly 6. Just an amazing shoe. A baby Alpha Fly, just a lot more durable, a little bit heavier, and better support with a stiffer material on the upper. This is the second shoe that I bring if I travel light. It's very fast, and to be honest, I feel a little bad for abusing this shoe in my training, because you just feel way too good, way too fast, way too smooth. But it's as a professional runner, of course you want to run fast, so I guess it's not a bad thing. I do a lot of threshold, obviously, a lot of interval sessions, and I have a very strict schedule and approach. So I do more or less the same things every week. I use exactly the same shoes for the specific sessions. Morning threshold is always on the treadmill, and I always use the Alpha Flies. I've worn the first one, the second one, and now obviously I'm on Alpha Fly 3s. They're just great. Super responsive, extremely fast. You can run a lot more efficient on higher speeds. Perfectly for threshold training, doing longer reps, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. Definitely the shoe that I would use for, let's say, a half marathon or a marathon, even a 10K. I would use this shoe. It's very good. A lot of you already know probably, but I have done one half marathon in my life. That was in September of last year. I jumped in last second just for fun while I was on vacation, and I was able to use the next version of the Alpha Fly 3s. I think it's the Alpha Fly 4. I got to test it, and it's very much the same shoe, just lighter, faster, and better. So I think you will have to stay tuned to get yourself a pair of your own, but just a great shoe. So I would use this for the longer races, but of course if I can have a lighter, faster version, of course that's preferable. I really do not think I've done a session outdoors in this. I'm not sure. I must have done one session. To be honest, I'm really not sure. I do prefer the Vaporfly outdoors because it's just an all-round great shoe. Speaking of Vaporfly 3, the shoes that I wear for all of my afternoon interval threshold sessions, even if I run a little bit faster. So Threshold Plus is just an amazing shoe, great for training, very durable, supportive on the upper, extremely responsive, super light. This is a shoe that I can do anything with. Because it's raining quite a lot in Norway, and I do a lot of threshold in the afternoon, obviously, on the track. It's very slippery. So we have done some modifications to the Vaporflies because it's much needed, because this tends to slip a lot on our track because it's very slippery. So we have version 1 of the Vaporfly Next% with a cutout from the Dragonflies, and we have cut out a piece of the Vaporfly to fill it with the Dragonfly plate, and it works good enough. It does the job. It's all about not slipping for the sessions, because then you can have some issues with the adductors and other things, and that's worst case. We don't want that to happen. So it's all about having grip, running smooth, running efficient. This is good. This is our second version of this, the Vaporfly 3. Same principle, Dragonfly plate cut out, glued into the Vaporfly 3. This we went to the people that makes our insoles for us. They have done this. And the third version, and the best version, made by Nike. So this is not homemade. They have put in spikes from spikes and made it just extremely flush and great. Now you really can tell that you have spikes other than having more grip. So this is just works very good, extremely good for our track and to run in wet conditions and have great grip and get the smoothness and quality for the sessions that we want. One of two in the entire world, both in Scandinavia.
Who has the other?
Andreas Almgren has the pair, but he doesn't need it. But if we train together in Sierra Nevada, he needs to have the same equipment. If not, that's going to be a next quiz for him. So that's why he needed also need a pair. Quick mention: Ultrafly Trail. It's raining quite a lot in Norway for autumn, spring, and winter. This is a good shoe to feel good and feel fast, responsive if you're running a long run on the trails or on gravel. Nice pair of shoes. Every week I do strides, every Monday, every Wednesday, throughout the whole winter, just to get that stimulation and be a little bit in spikes and not only be in normal shoes. Obviously my go-to is the Dragonflies. This is the normal version. It's good, it's very lightweight, it's supportive. You get the stress on the Achilles, on the plantar facet. You get what you want from having this on as much as you can, but not for long periods. But I think it's very important for us to touch into spikes throughout the whole year. So when we get to a racing period or a phase in training where we need to be more specific with the training, we have already been somewhat into spikes and not, so it's not completely new. Speaking of, we got some cross-country Dragonflies that I also tend to use for some indoor strides because they're very supportive. They're a little bit heavier, but when I train very hard and do a lot of mileage, it's all about support, cushioning, not have anything that's risking injury more than necessary. That's good. And also the updated cross-country spikes. Very muddy, because this is actually the pair of spikes that I used for European cross-country championships in Antalya, Turkey, where I was able to win. Very sentimental. So this is Turkey mud, straight from Antalya. Very nice. We are on to racing. No, we are not. We're missing these shoes. This is the Streakfly. This is actually the shoe that I use for drills if I do a lot of exercises, which I do usually before I do strides. Very lightweight, responsive. If you do drills, this is just perfect, because you don't want too much of a shoe, you want it to be responsive. You can also do strides in these. Lifting, stretching, very nice. The upgraded Vaporfly. This is the Vaporfly 4. I've not been able to use them too much because I don't do racing on the road too often. This is extremely lightweight. It's not as durable as the previous version because this is more elite. It's supposed to be extreme. It's supposed to be as fast as we can produce, so everything is lightweight, everything is minimalistic. It's supposed to be super responsive, super light. For my training, of course, I would prefer it to be a little bit more supportive and durable because you do a lot of mileage and you just need it to be that. But if I were to race 5K, let's say, on the road, or maybe a mile or 50 meter, this would definitely be the choice. So extremely fast, extremely good. This is a very fast and good shoe for racing.
Best thing about this is it's the proper proto version because it actually still has the tape.
Yeah. Don't look at that. Closing in, worth mentioning, I do some strength work, lifting. This is my go-to shoe that I do Friday and Sunday. This is the Metcon. It's like a hybrid lifting, training, fitness shoe that you can do some running in. It's very flat, it's very stable, it's very stiff, which is great for reducing risk of injuries or overstepping or doing something wrong while doing weights. So having proper shoes for the different sessions that you're doing is very important. So I try to bring this to camps, to competitions. If I'm there for a longer period and I have a lot of lifting and strength work, this is very good. And this is Jupiter. He's made his mark. So it's he thought it was we needed a little bit of adjusting and signature from Jupiter, but still does a very good job. Now we're going into racing. Competitions is my main motivation. I love to compete, I love to race, but to do that I need proper spikes. I'm a track runner, doing 1500 meter, 3000 meter and 5K. My go-to 5K spike is the Dragonfly 2 Elite, and I also do most of my training sessions in this shoe because it's just extremely responsive with the carbon plate. It's very good, extremely lightweight, does the job perfect. It's very nice to feel smooth and fast and not have any unnecessary stress on your calves or on your feet.
Here's a quick question. How many miles would you normally do as different from shoe to shoe, but generally?
Maybe you should smell them and take a guess. Some of them. But that's a very good question. But in the summer, I do a lot of hard sessions and do a lot of work on the track. And I often do a lot of mileage when I first go into the spikes. So on average, probably 6K a session. And I think this at least does, at least maybe not, it doesn't sound that much, but 10 to 20 sessions. Because it's the stress that shoes like this go through in a session like that is pretty extreme in the way that, of course, we're talking about running, so it's not that extreme, but it's not, this is made for racing. It's not made for doing extreme amount of mileage. So to put them through that kind of stresses and it still holds up and does the job, it's very good. Moving to my favorite distance, my favorite spikes. This is the Victory 2s. These are the shoes that I have most of my best races for the 1500 meter and the mile distance in. This is the blueprint version. It's very good. I've been able to contribute a little bit with the development and be a part of the process of making this shoe all the way since 2018, 2019. And getting to this point is just amazing because the final result from the team making this shoe is amazing. With the pillow, with the plate, reducing weight, going from 6 to 4 spikes, having the plastic on the inside to get a little bit extra support in the corners. All these things to make it fast, supportive, responsive, you get what you need. And we have a special version of this as well. Proto color. Purple. This is actually the pair of spikes that I did my world record in the 2000 meter in Brussels in 23. So, very sentimental. I think this color is amazing. They actually stole these shoes from me to check it and verify that they were legit. But luckily for me, they didn't cut it, the World Athletics. Because if you do a record or you win a big race, they often do a spike check to make sure that everything's good. And luckily for me, I got them back in as a whole. And they look very nice. I think that's most of my shoes, both for easy runs, for interval and harder sessions, spikes, even cross country, what I do lifting in, what I do drills in. I think we covered most of it. I probably have one of the biggest rotations, that I don't know 100%, but I think I have one of the biggest rotations with shoe wear for an elite runner, but I enjoy it quite a lot. I'm fortunate enough to be able to use many different shoes, and I'm healthy. I love to run, and I like to run fast. So the faster the shoe, the better for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something about my shoes, my rotation, the shoes that I wear for the different purposes, what I like about some of them. If I were to choose one as my favorite, it has to be these ones. These are just very, very special. I was just thinking about the shoe specifically. The color, design, the history of this shoe when it was released, unmatched. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Like and subscribe! Oh.